All right, we are going to go ahead and get started with our program today, so if we could take our seats for just a moment. I want to welcome everyone to our Veterans Day program, and I always kind of give an opening during this. Veterans Day is a special day for me. Both of my grandfathers served, and it was very important to them, and I actually get to go visit with them over at the Veterans Northeast Cemetery, as that's where they were buried. And when I go over, I say a prayer and thank them for all that they've done for me and molding my life and what they meant to me, and certainly has a special place in my heart. But we are happy to have all of our veterans here with us today. We are going to start out to recognize our veterans, and if I call off the branch of service in which you served, if you would please stand, we'll give you a round of applause. So if you served in the United States Air Force, please stand. The United States Army. United States Coast Guard. Coast Guard members. United States Marine Corps. And our United States, the Navy. I would like to thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for defending our country and fighting for the freedoms that we have. We are so very thankful for that. At this time, I would like to ask our fifth grade student, Jill Nip, to come. She is going to sing the national anthem. So if we could stand and address the flag and put our hand over our heart, we will
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Jill. At this time, we have a very special guest to sing a song for us. I would like to introduce Mr. Price Harris. Price is the son of Mrs. Harris that is a teacher here, so we are happy to have him for this song. Thank you, Price.
From the halls of bondage to marching shores of war, fight our country's battles and on first the fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean.
conclude our program today, we have Marvin McHenry set up over here to our left, and Marvin has many artifacts on display for us to check out, and you're free to spend some time looking at the artifacts that Marvin has when our program is over. At this time, I would like to invite our speakers to come to the stand. I would like to invite Jimmy and Beth Cozy. Jimmy was in the Marine Corps in 1992 and served in active duty through 2004. He served in many areas throughout the world, Somalia, Haiti, Iraq, Korea, just to name a few. Beth was also a member of the United States Marine Corps. She began her service in 1994 and was in active duty until 1998. She also served in the Marine Corps Reserves till 2014. During that time, she was recalled to active duty 4 times, and she has worked with the Wounded Warriors who was coming back from Afghanistan. So at this time, I will turn our program over to Jimmy and Beth Cozy.
Again, my name is Beth Cozy, and I would like to thank Jason McGlone and the Pritchard Elementary staff for inviting us. And to our veterans, thank you. I am a veteran, but I thank all the veterans before me, because without you, I would not be here and able to enjoy my freedoms. So I thank you all. And to the students, welcome. I hope you leave here today with a little bit of a better understanding of what it means to us, to the veterans, and what America means to us, and the freedoms that we hope you guys really accept and understand and respect. So, again, I served in the Marine Corps from 1994 to 1998. I was in high school, and a recruiter called my house and said, they were actually calling for my twin brother, and they said, would you be interested in joining the military? And my first answer was, no way. You know, I was going to go to college. But, you know, after doing college and then having a job and working full-time and really not having direction with my life, I decided that I was going to join the military. And my first choice was the Air Force, because I wanted to be a doctor or something in the medical field. And then I couldn't do that because I have scoliosis, a curvature of the spine, so they wouldn't accept me because it was too far off. So I was like, well, I'm going into the Marine Corps. So that's where I went, and I tell you, that was one of the best decisions I ever made, because it really opened my eyes and allowed me to find myself, because I was a very shy, quiet girl. And to see me now, even now, kind of gives me a little bit of nerve speaking in front of people, but I was very quiet. If I dropped my pencil in class or something, it was just like, oh my goodness, I gotta bend down and get this, and everyone's gonna focus on me, and I didn't want that. But the Marine Corps really changed that for me, and I was very appreciative of that. So going through, I've been to Okinawa, Japan, and I come back and I go to Camp Lejeune, and that's where I meet Jimmy. We were both in the Marine Corps, and we happened to be in the same unit. And to think that I'm originally from Virginia, he's from Kentucky, we meet in the military, we get married, and we only have to take Interstate 64 to our houses. So that was kind of a light bulb God moment for us, because, you know, he brought us together. We have a son, his name is Canyon. He's 15 years old, and he's in 10th grade at the high school, and he was born at Camp Lejeune, Marine Corps Base, in 2004, so he's our Marine brat. That's what they refer to the children of dual military, so he's a Marine brat. So, like Jason said, my last duty station, or one of my last duty stations, was working at Wounded Warrior Battalion in San Diego with the ill and injured from Iraq and Afghanistan, and that was one of the most humbling duty stations I have ever worked. You know, we don't think too much of war. We just think we're separated from our families, our children, spouses, cousins, nephews, or uncles, but we don't think about the effects after war. And students, this is what I want to open your eyes to, that you understand that yes, families are being separated from the military, but when they come back, certain things, you know, it's not normal anymore, and they have to adjust back to that time, because they've been so involved in the military and the duties that they have to endure. When they come back, it takes an adjustment. And it's hard sometimes because when you come back and you're not welcomed, that's hurtful and that's disrespectful. And I just want to say, if I can just instill anything in you students, that you please respect the American flag, you respect your parents, your teachers, any adult over you, respect them, and just understand that these very people have provided you the freedom to come to school, to learn, to be with your friends, to go to church. All these things have been provided through the service of these veterans here. So please, just take that into consideration and just understand that we've done a lot for you, and we just want you all to be the best students and the best citizens that you can be for your country. Thank you.
She stole my thunder a little bit there, but we'll push forward here. I don't know if did you say her ranks? Did you say it? Well, I'll go ahead and let the cat back. She was a gunnery sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, and I was a sergeant. So if you know what that means is, many guys that are married, I'm outranked. All right, so some of you younger kids will get it later on. It'll be funny to you then, but I'm outranked in the house and I was outranked in the military. But I'm proud of my wife's service. Joining the Marine Corps as a female is like joining the varsity football team. I mean, it's really a tough situation and stuff, and she excelled at it, so I'm very proud of her service and everything. I'm glad she decided to come up here and talk a little bit with me today. I kind of coached her a little bit into it and said, just a few minutes, just say anything you want, just get up here. It helps out. But here we are to celebrate Veterans Day, and Veterans Day, I don't know if you know this little history, kids out there, history teachers out there, November 11th, right, is when we celebrate back in 1918. That's when the armistice, formerly Veterans Day was known as Armistice Day. That's when the armistice was signed after World War I and ceasefire and everything, right? The war stopped, the fighting stopped at that time. So they called it Armistice Day. It was on the 11th hour, so 11 o'clock in the morning, on the 11th day of the 11th month, it was signed. So that's the reason we celebrate that. But that's just a day. Like today is just a day too. We have a formal thing out here, and we do all this fun stuff, but what I want to tell you, what I want you to relate to, this area alone, here in northeastern Kentucky, southern Ohio, southern West Virginia, there are so many veterans in this area, and I guarantee there's veterans in your family you probably didn't even know about. And here's the thing about a veteran, if you can break through that initial shell, a little hard shell they got going on a little bit and stuff, best buddy you'll ever have. I'm telling you right now, they're awesome people to be around, and they deserve our eternal gratitude. I know myself, I'm still the guy that gets the chills when the national anthem plays and see stuff and everything. So I'm a little more on what Bev said. But first, just as we celebrate today, I want you to know this. Everything ain't always in the news. Everything ain't always in the paper. Why do I say that? Because there's young men and young women right now, this moment, as we're doing what we're doing and having this celebration for our veterans, that are probably somewhere in harm's way. Scared, not knowing what's going on, missing home. So as we remember, our veterans sitting here today and everything, we also have veterans that are forward deployed right now. We need to keep them in mind every day just to be thankful for that. You all have fun things you like to do. My son likes to play video games, do things, play football. Some of you might like to play sports. The fact that you're at school today is because of veterans. And we're free to do that. We're free to worship how we want to. We're free to do those things. Freedom's a big word. It comes into play in a lot of things in our life. And I want you to really take advantage of that. And remember that. Before I forget, I'm going to get off track for a second. Were we the only two Marines that stood up? Dang. All right, hey, Marines get a double whammy on Veterans Day. I didn't know if you know that or not. Marines get it because yesterday was Marine Corps birthday. All right, we were 244 years of taking care of business yesterday. All right, so I was going to say happy birthday, Marines, happy belated birthday, which I said to her yesterday. Everybody always looks at us weird because we're all around, walking around wishing each other happy birthday and stuff. But yesterday we get a double win. We get a Marine Corps birthday, and then we get Veterans Day right there in a row. So before I forgot that, I want to say that. So happy birthday. We appreciate when somebody tells us thanks. We really do. But instead of talking about my service today or talking about that, just for just the next few minutes, I want you to listen. And I want to tell you how you can thank a veteran. See, you look at a veteran, you see the haircut, you see the build, the walk, the posture, stuff and everything. The biggest part of a veteran, is their heart.
Amen.
A heart that's full, that believes this is the greatest country in the world. They believe that so much that they put their life on hold and left their families and was willing to die for it if it came to that point. Just so others after us can keep having those freedoms. So, if you want to tell a veteran thank you, this is for the kids in the back. Listen up. There's some sprinkled around here a little bit and stuff. Best way you can say thank you, if you hear the national anthem play, stand up, take your hat off, put your hand over your heart, be quiet and listen to it. Be respectful to your parents, to your teachers. Make good grades. As you get older, some other freedoms will come into play. Voting. And I don't know if you don't remember this because y'all got a while to go, but every opportunity you get, you exercise that freedom to vote and do things that this country allows. And everybody in this room, we live in a country, it don't matter if you're poor, rich, big, small, what color you are, what's going on, it doesn't matter, none of that matters because we have this freedom these veterans gave us, that fought for. We can be anything we want to. You can do anything. There might be a president of the United States in this room. That's possible because we live in the United States. The only thing that can stop you, the only thing that can hold you back, I'm going to be honest with you, now listen to this, the only thing that can hold you back is yourself. That's it. Don't let nobody tell you any different. If you want it, I'm telling you now, dream big and go for it. That's the biggest thing you can give a veteran right there, is take advantage of what this country offers, the freedom. That I love to see each one of you excel, go out there and be doctors, nurses, lawyers, contribute to this great country we live in. Do something for it. There might be some youth pastors out there, ministers, stuff. Like I said, President of the United States, governors, whatever. The list goes on and on and on. What I want you to know, you can do that. I want you to do that. I want that for you. And each one of these veterans out here want that for you. That was the reason they made the choice they did. That's the reason they raised their right hand and took that vow. So those freedoms can continue on. So we'll go the passing of the torch here later on to the next generation. So remember that. And remember, take time out and make friends with one of these veterans. It'll be the best thing you ever did and stuff. Like I said, they're a great buddy. I have a bunch of veteran friends. Colonel Newell was a great friend of mine that recently passed here. Love that man to death. I miss him every day. I miss that handshake. He was a great, great man. We appreciate you inviting us today. We love to come out and talk about this. And from the bottom of my heart, for the veterans sitting out here, thank you. Thank you so much for all the sacrifices you made. Believe me, I know it. I thank God for it every day, as we all should. So not just today's Veterans Day, every day is Veterans Day. God bless you all. Thank you. I didn't announce my special guests, so I want to throw it out there. William and Ramey Greer are out here. They're our special guests. They're in the youth group in Oak Grove with us still, so I want to give them a little shout out. So we got you there, all right? Love you guys.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. Jimmy and Beth, they do a lot in our community, and I believe you're the youth minister at Oak Grove Church of Christ. So they have a tremendous amount of influence on our youth in our area. So we are so appreciative of that. At this time, we will conclude our program. As I mentioned, Marvin McHenry and his grandson over there have some artifacts, and you can certainly spend as long as you'd like looking through those. And fifth grade teachers, we can see if we can get some time for them to walk through those in just a moment. But at this time, we conclude our program. I certainly appreciate you all coming out and for our Veterans Day program. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the service that you provided our country, for the freedoms that we're able to gather together today and talk about these things. Thank you very much.
See you.